Otieno Kajwang died on 19 November 2014 at Mater Misericordiae Hospital in Nairobi, and even in death, he remained a figure of controversy. Officially, doctors attributed his passing to cardiac arrest following long-standing heart disease. The post-mortem revealed narrowed coronary arteries, evidence of a previous heart episode, and an enlarged heart strained by hypertension. Yet the autopsy also found broken ribs and a fractured sternum, injuries that briefly fueled public suspicion before doctors clarified they were consistent with aggressive resuscitation attempts. Additional toxicology tests were conducted after stomach irritation was noted, and while later tabloid speculation linked his death to sildenafil use, such claims were never part of the official government pathology report. His death unleashed a bitter and protracted succession battle that would entangle his family in court for nearly a decade. A woman named Faith Vivian Otieno emerged claiming to have been his customary-law wife for 19 years, leading to dramatic scenes at the funeral home when she was denied access to his body by the family. In 2024, the High Court dismissed her claim, ruling that Kajwang's marriage was monogamous and Christian, and that he therefore lacked the legal capacity to contract another marriage. The dispute delayed the distribution of an estate valued in the hundreds of millions of shillings and exposed rifts within the family, with close relatives contesting ownership of properties in Nairobi and Western Kenya. The controversies surrounding his personal life mirrored the turbulence of his public career. As a lawyer, Kajwang had faced repeated disciplinary action from the Law Society of Kenya, including temporary removal from the role of advocates for professional misconduct involving client funds. Though later reinstated, this history followed him into politics, where activists unsuccessfully sought to block his Senate candidacy on integrity grounds. As Minister for Immigration, he was repeatedly named in allegations of irregular issuance of work permits and passports. Parliamentary inquiries cleared him of personal corruption, but acknowledged deep-rooted graft in the department he led. His political temperament was also famously combustible. In 2001, he physically clashed with David Mwenje on the floor of Parliament, an incident that became part of Kenyan political folklore. Yet controversy never eclipsed his reputation as one of Kenya's most formidable political voices. Born on 15 July 1955 in Nyeri, while his parents were working there, Kajwang grew up in Wando village in Mbita on the shores of Lake Victoria. The eldest son in a family steeped in public service and politics, he was shaped early by debate, discipline, and church life. His father, a teacher and education officer, and his mother, among the earliest African women to teach in Kenya's primary schools, instilled in him a fierce belief in education as a ladder of social mobility. At Mbita High School and later Maseno School, Kajwang became known for his sharp tongue and commanding presence in debates, traits that would later define his political persona. He went on to study law at University of Nairobi and later at Makerere University, qualifying as an advocate in 1984. In private practice, he developed a reputation as a firebrand lawyer who took on pro bono work for the underprivileged, even as disciplinary troubles periodically clouded his legal standing. Politics proved to be his true arena. Kajwang was first elected member of parliament for Mbita in 1997 and would hold the seat for 3 consecutive terms under shifting political banners, before becoming the first senator for Homa Bay County in 2013. In Parliament, his booming voice, theatrical delivery, and signature chant, "Bado Mapambano," made him instantly recognizable. He chaired key committees on justice and legal affairs, sat on influential watchdog bodies, and cultivated a reputation as both a loyal party man and a relentless debater. Between 2008 and 2013, he served in the Grand Coalition government as Minister for Immigration and Registration of Persons. His tenure coincided with efforts to modernize Kenya's national registration systems, even as allegations of corruption and favoritism trailed the ministry. Supporters praised him as a reformer, navigating a deeply compromised bureaucracy. Critics saw him as emblematic of the system's excesses. In his private life, Kajwang was married in 1986 to Rose Bujahela Otieno, with whom he had 2 children. Their marriage endured for nearly 3 decades and became the legal anchor of his estate after his death. The later court ruling that rejected claims of a second customary-law wife cemented Rose and their children as his primary heirs, even as it acknowledged other children as beneficiaries. Kajwang's wealth, accumulated over decades in politics and law, was spread across real estate in Nairobi's affluent suburbs and in Western Kenya, shares in cooperative societies, pension savings, and a fleet of vehicles. The struggle to value and distribute these assets revealed how deeply money and politics had intertwined in his life, and how, in death, they could still divide those closest to him. Otieno Kajwang remains a study in contradiction, a gifted orator who thrilled crowds yet alienated colleagues, a lawyer who championed the poor yet fell afoul of professional ethics, a reformist minister enmeshed in scandal, a family man whose legacy became entangled in public dispute. Loved, loathed, and endlessly debated, he left behind not just a political record, but a story that continues to stir Kenya's conversations about power, integrity, and the complicated lives of its leaders.